Well, good afternoon and welcome. I'm Karen Marsdale. I am the president at the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and you're with us again today for Member Spotlight. And this is a time when we get to talk to members about their stories, about what they're doing, the exciting things that are going on, how we might be of use or helping them through the chamber. So I'm thrilled today to have Dan Clouser with Big Vision Foundation. Dan, welcome.
Thank you, Karen.
And special little affinity here because I'm on your board, although
Yes. Thank you very
through
much.
the last few months of transition at the chamber, I'm going to say I've flunked,
Absolutely
board.
not. Absolutely not.
But I know that you are very long suffering about that. So, but one of the things that I saw immediately with Big Vision is the passion that people have. I mean, obviously, we're talking baseball some of the time, and we're also talking about leadership. We're talking about kids, and the fact that we have to invest in them in many ways, or else our community is not going to be the community that we want it to be.
Right.
You have wonderful, wonderful programs. The facilities are beautiful. What would you like to talk about first?
And first of all, thank you for having me on the show.
Oh my gosh, it's our pleasure.
Thank you for being on our board and serving and again, understanding the transition through the chamber completely. No issues with what you call your lack of participation because you're certainly there in spirit. And I know when I reach out to you, you're always willing to give your opinion and help. So we completely understand that, and thank you for serving. I guess one thing I'd like to talk about, initially is just how the organization is kind of built on three pillars, and the base of that, what we like to call our triangle, is really teaching leadership skills and life lessons through sports, which is done through our Berkshire baseball and softball teams, where we really use those youth teams, not just to teach the kids how to play, primarily baseball and softball, but really to, be able to teach them lessons through those games, that will help them throughout their life.
Sure.
And that's a little bit different than what a lot of other youth sports organizations do nowadays, where they're really kind of a win at all cost type of mentality. And
for sure.
Yeah, and we're, we don't want people to misunderstand, like we do want to win
Exactly.
when we're on the field, but it also, we're not going to burn a kid out or, waste a kid's arm, to win a trophy for a weekend tournament. That's not what it's all about. It's really about making them understand, the lessons, and especially the games that we play, are built on failure. Mm-hmm. And understanding that, whether in baseball or softball, when you fail, you've got to get back up and move on. And that's really the way it is in life as well. So that's really the base of the organization. The other, the second component is giving back and making our kids understand the importance of being involved in their community. We participate in Cups Compassion right down here at the corner of 5th and Penn. Actually, it took up the entire 400 block of Penn this past year. But getting our kids involved with that.
Great.
Yeah, and seeing, like this past year, we had a couple of the kids that have, graduated from our program, are now in college, or actually have even graduated, from college and took days off and, reached out to me and said, hey, Coach, I want to get involved in Cups Compassion this year. What time should I be there? So, again, that kind of shows the impact of what the organization has had on these kids.
Absolutely.
By teaching them how to get involved in the community and the importance of that. Because, volunteerism is somewhat of a dying passion, unfortunately.
Unfortunately is true.
So we really do stress to those kids that, giving back, and it is a full circle, is what you learn from us, we want to see them teach the next generation as
absolutely.
well. And then the third component of our organization is really the economic development piece, which a lot of times people don't really understand. But with, we've got a beautiful 130-acre sports complex out there.
Beautiful.
We run baseball and softball tournaments every weekend. We do some soccer tournaments as well. And being on the board of the Visitors Bureau, provided with numbers there that what we're doing there is creating between $3 and $5 million of economic impact for our community. And those are pretty powerful numbers when
Absolutely.
You think of just it's not just kids coming in and playing sports. It's people traveling from New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Connecticut to spend a weekend, and they're staying in our hotels, they're eating in our restaurants, they're getting gas at our gas stations, and that's a huge part of what we do.
They may be coming back a different time for another event or occasion,
Right.
but they're experiencing Berks County in a really positive light. And I think that just that data point of the 3 to 5 million. Again, these are things that we tend to overlook, and yet we are going places. We were just talking about going up to New England for a vacation,
Right.
And yet we don't realize how much the economic development and the impact that tourism makes
Right.
on communities, because it's not just Disney or going to Las Vegas. There are many things, and and I've seen the hundreds of kids that come in, and what I love about Big Vision is, which is why full disclaimer, when I went on the board, I don't know one baseball player professional from another. I do know a couple of teams, and that I'm familiar with, but the reality is what you're doing for the youth
Right.
of our community, because as you said, giving back is something that is almost becoming a dying art, because we live these really fast-paced lives.
Right.
And so we're always looking for volunteers. I mean, our nonprofit world is always looking for volunteers. So you're building that next generation.
Yeah, because
Which
it is.
is
It's very
amazing.
important. I mean, nonprofits, the lifeblood of nonprofits is volunteers.
Absolutely.
And if we continue to create generations and generations of young people who don't understand the importance of that, we're going to run out of volunteer pool.
We certainly are. And I know another nonprofit organization that helps kids, find a mentor and be a mentor. And they've got probably 6 dozen children in the waiting for a mentor.
For a mentor, yep.
And that's really a shame. That's sad, because again, it's our future.
Yeah.
They are future employees of our employers in the community. They are the future folks who are going to spend money and live and buy homes and et cetera. And we want them to be well-rounded and citizens of the community.
Yeah.
So you're teaching them at a young age. What's going on? We're getting right into that season. So what's going on this year?
We've got a really big 2017 planned. As you know, we've got Jenny Finch coming back again this year, which is awesome. She'll be out May 20th and 21st. We have an event that we'll be doing with her that Saturday evening, May 20th, at the Reading Airport. Kind of
cool.
very similar to the Taste of the Chamber event.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kind of plaplagize the chamber a little
That's
bit
fine.
on
We like
taking
that.
that model. Terry was happy to have us, so thank you for that connection as well. But it'll be kind of a mix and mingle, so kids and parents can go out after her camp and spend a couple hours with Jenny. Get to shake her hand and hang out with her. So it's a real kind of low-key, informal type atmosphere. Klingers is doing the catering for us, so it'll be a lot of really
They do a
good
great
picked
job.
foods.
Yep.
So that's really our biggest event that we've got on tap right now. But starting here in a couple weeks, we'll get right into our tournament season. Unfortunately, the weather backed us up a week, so we don't
I
get
know.
started the first weekend of April like we were supposed to, but we'll get started the second weekend and go right through the first weekend of November. And like I said, got a lot of good response for our tournaments.
Excellent.
But really looking forward to the Jenny Finch event. We're, believe it or not, I mean, we're within 2 months of that going off. So
Yeah. I know, it's always like when we live in our world of events as well. It's just kind of crazy land. But well, Deanne, I know our time is almost up, but I want to say thank you to you, to your team, and by that I mean your staff and all those that surround you as volunteers. You do great work. Keep it up. We're there for you, and I'm very excited that I can be a little part of it, and that that we can spread the good news about Big Vision Foundation. So thanks for being here.
no problem. You're being very modest because you're a huge part of
Oh, gosh.
helping this machine move forward.
Well, thank you. Appreciate
you.
it.